Publicity Service show, Your Business Matters, with Pallavi Ahluwalia of Ahluwalia Law Offices. Tune into their show between 10:30 a.m. and 11 a.m. every Wednesday on 104.9 FM and ask her all your legal questions. Ms. Ahluwalia owns and operates Ahluwalia Law Offices PC. She received her law degree in 1996 from Southern Methodist University in Dallas, Texas, and also has a graduate degree in English Literature and Master of Philosophy in English Literature from the University of Punjab, Chandigarh in India. Ms. Ahluwalia is also a certified mediator and has served as an appointed mediator for Collin County Courts. In addition to regularly volunteering at legal aid clinics hosted by the Legal Aid of Northwest Texas, Ms. Ahluwalia serves as a legal advisor to CHAIN, a non-profit organization working on issues related to domestic violence. She also spearheaded and participated in the inaugural annual legal aid clinic that was held to benefit the underprivileged South Asian community. Ms. Ahluwalia also served on the North American South Asian Bar Association's Executive Committee and is the founding president of the South Asian Bar Association of Dallas. Her speaking engagements have included being the speaker at the National South Asian Bar Association's annual conference, speaking at the conference held by the Texas chapter of the American Immigration Lawyers Association, and a presenter to the Indo-American Chamber of Commerce activities. She has been featured in Texas Lawyer magazine for the National South Asian Bar Association's annual conference, speaking at the conference held by the Texas chapter of the American Immigration Lawyers Association, and a presenter to the Indo-American Chamber of Commerce activities. She has been featured in Texas Lawyer magazine for an article on law firm ethics. Ms. Ahluwalia speaks English, Hindi, Urdu and Spanish. Her office handles cases involving immigration and naturalization law, family law, business law, contract law and civil litigation. She can be contacted directly at 972-361-0606 or Pallavi at yourdesilawyer.com. The content of this radio program.
Alright, this is Your Business Matters with Pallavi Ahluwalia from Ahluwalia Law Offices. Get in touch with their front desk manager to get an appointment. If you have a question, yes, you can call them at 972-361-0606. Right now, if you have a legal query or a question in your mind, now is the time to call. If you have any questions related to employment and family-based immigration matters, family law, corporate law, civil matters, you can call us at 972-235-5555. And yes, Pallavi is here till 11 o'clock to answer all your legal questions. With that, do want to welcome Pallavi Ahluwalia on the airwaves of Fun Asia Radio 104.9 FM. Good morning to you, Pallavi. How are you doing?
Doing very well, me too. Thank you so much for hosting me again this Wednesday morning. Glad to be here this morning with Your Business Matters and hope to be able to engage with the community and to be able to answer questions for them.
Great. And thank you so much for doing your show remotely today. I know you are out of town, but you did find time for our community here, and it is always much appreciated.
Of course, my pleasure.
All right. 972-235-5555. That's the number in the studio. Let's get on with our calls. And the first caller, Fun Asia Radio, you're live on the air. Go ahead and ask your question, please.
Hello. Good morning, Pallavi ji. I have a question. My application is from H4 to H1, which is cap exempt one is in process.
You know what? So I am so sorry to interrupt you. I think we just lost her call. Can you please call me back? I would really appreciate that.
Sure. Okay.
Thank you so much. All right. Once again, 972-235-5555. That's the number in the studio. While I try to get Pallavi back on the airwaves of Fun Asia Radio, let's once again get you the number 972-235-5555. Thank you so much for your patience. We do have Pallavi back on the airwaves of Fun Asia Radio, and yes, Pallavi, can you hear us? Fun Asia Radio, you are live on the air. Pallavi, can you hear us?
Yes, I can.
All right, perfect. Let's get on with the calls once again. 972-235-5555. This is Your Business Matters with Pallavi Ahluwalia from Ahluwalia Law Offices. Going to our next caller, Fanisha Radio. You are live on the air. Go ahead and ask your question, please.
Hi, so can I talk to Pallavi?
Yes, go ahead, please.
Yeah, Pallavi, good morning. I have a question. My H4 to H1 application is in process, which is cap exempt one from H4 to H1. It is in the process from last 1.5 year. So, should I wait till approval to start working on that, or can I go ahead and start working or something? Can you suggest? Because I'm getting so many responses. Previously, if I worked on H1, I can work right now with a receipt number, something blah blah. Can you please explain me if you don't mind?
Yes, surely. Absolutely. So one thing to understand is that this can be tipped over in terms of getting an approval by just filing in premium processing and getting that approved. That would really help you in understanding if the government has any questions, and nothing will happen to the application later on. However, there is one reading of the regulation that says that if you've previously held an H status, once you file your H4 to H-1B also, that you can start working. The only condition that I state is that the application that you have that is pending must be something that is approved for sure, because if it doesn't get approved later on, or there is a denial later on, then you would have had some unauthorized employment. So at this point, the regulation does allow that because of the reading of the H section of 214, but you have to just be careful on making sure that it gets approved, and that's why I suggest premium processing.
Yeah, because when I call them, they are telling UCS people telling it is a security process, so we can't apply premium. Also, they're saying it will come back if we send check. Also, they're saying because it is from last 1.5 years, so they said this security check process UCS cannot do anything. So only
that I don't understand though. I don't understand how it is that it's insecurity within the country. So this is not where you've gone to the consulate to get stamped, correct? You're in the country?
I didn't go to the consulate. I am in the US. I didn't go to the consulate. Just filed application.
Yeah, so there may be some issues then with the petitioner, which is the employer.
Okay. So what is the best thing? Because I got an opportunity to work because from 1.5 year it is in process. So whether should I start working because I don't want to lose the opportunity of the job?
Yeah, sure, I understand. Yeah, so the regulation on its interpretation does allow you to start working. The only condition is that it must be approved later on, so that you can save yourself from any unauthorized employment if the government were to come back and say that. So just make sure that the location that is pointed out on the H-1B is the one where you will be working.
Last question. Later on, you are telling it should be approved. If it gets rejected and I start working now with the receipt number, if it later on rejected, what would be the
government would consider that as, yes, they would consider that as unauthorized employment.
Oh, so then it is all the most better thing is should I wait for approval?
Correct, but I think you should get to the bottom of it. It cannot pen for a 1.5 years, number one. Number two, security within the country does not sound right. It looks like there is another problem. Maybe they're doing an investigation on the petitioner. I'm not sure. I would explore that a bit more to get an answer on your petition or file with another employer.
Sure, that's it. That sounds great. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your call. 972-235-5555. That's the number in the studio, and we are live on air with Pallavi Ahluwalia from Ahluwalia Law Offices. Well, if you have any questions beyond the show, you can call their front desk manager at 972-361-0606, and yes, ahluwalialaw.com is the website to go. I think I've disconnected the call, but yes, if you have any question in mind, 972-235-5555. That's the number to reach us. All right, going to our next caller, Fanisha Radio. You are live on the air. Go ahead and ask your question, please.
Hello, Pallavi. I'm on F1 visa and I'm married to a green card holder, and we have I-130 approved. So my question is, can I go ahead and file adjustment of status right away, or do I have to wait for my priority date?
No, you cannot file for an adjustment. Which country are you from?
I'm from India.
From India. Okay, and what's your priority date? That's the date that you filed your I-130?
That is right. It's in December 2015.
Okay, so yeah, it is not. At this point, the final action dates on the visa bulletin, which is showing November 15th of 2014, are the dates for filing adjustments. So you're not eligible right now to file an adjustment. So there is a suggested date that is on the visa bulletin right now, and that is under Part B. After that is published by the Department of State, the USCIS goes back and says whether they will give it whether they would accept this or not. And at this time, USCIS is not accepting the date of the November 22nd of 2015, which is on Part B of that visa bulletin. So my answer to you, no, you cannot file an adjustment of status right now anyway with that priority date that you have.
All right. Thanks a lot, Ravi.
Thank you so much for your call. Going to our next caller, Phanisha Radio. You are live on the air. Go ahead and ask your question, please.
I have a question. I became a U.S. citizen recently, and I want to go outside country. Like I want to live in India for 2-3 years. Do I have to inform somebody about this?
You can, so you can just register on the Department of State's website. That's what tracks where U.S. citizens are, and if there are any alerts about the area where you're going to be, you will have those alerts. So there is a system. You can go onto the Department of State and you can do a search, and that should lead you to a registration of letting the government know that you're leaving the country. It is not an immigration requirement. This is more so that you can be in touch with the consulate and they know where you are, and that way they track the position of U.S. citizens.
Okay, but I don't have to do anything with immigration or private.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your call. 972-235-5555 number in the studio. Going to our next caller, Phanisha Radio. You are live on the air. Go ahead and ask your question, please.
Hi, my question is about the new EAD date that was announced last November. Like it is stuck in July 2009, I believe. Do you have any news on that? Like why is it stuck, and can we expect it to move?
No, so you're talking about your 485, and so for that, are you... Okay, so you're talking about a 485, number one. Number two, you're talking, I'm going to guess, you're talking about an employment-based case.
Yeah,
okay.
Employment-based.
So then I need to know which category, EB3 or EB2?
EB2. This is about the new government order that was issued, and the new dates were released. Apart from the green card, they issued the dates for the, I believe, the EAD.
It's not EAD. Those are not EAD dates. Yes, those are dates for eligibility for filing your 485. So when the Department of State issues that, and I just said this to the last caller too, once the Department of State issues that, you still have to wait for an announcement from USCIS to see if they would still honor those dates or not, if they would give those dates credibility or not. So if those dates are not credible to USCIS, then they post a notice saying that you have to look at the first chart, which is the final action dates only. So at this point, for EB2 India, it's February 22nd of 2005. Even though it's July 1st of 2009 on the visa bulletin, USCIS is still regarding the 2005 dates as the dates.
Thank you.
All right.
All right. Thank you so much for your call. 972-235-5555 is the number. Yes, if you have any questions beyond the show, the number to call would be 972-361-0606. Yes, you can seek an appointment and get in touch with Pallavi. aluvalialaw.com is the website to go. So for Pallavi, what else is happening in the legal world? Any updates for our listeners here?
Important new rule, and this is going to impact a lot of people, and this is it's a proposed rule that was just issued a few days back, I'd like to say on the 26th of August, and this is going to impact immigrant entrepreneurs, and it is supposed to be published in the Federal Register later this week or early next week. And this one is allowing people to come into the country on a parole to come and grow your company and create jobs. So this will, and this is going to, this was something in line with Obama's announcement earlier on, and he had made this promise in November of 2014. This was part of the executive action, but right now I guess it will become a regulation. And because of that, we're going to have some easing up. And I'm just going to back up a little bit and say that right now for entrepreneurs that want to come in, they're stuck to investing $500,000 or $1 million. We don't know what amount of investment would be needed to get this parole into the United States, but this would at least be a pre-entry before you get a green card or anything like that. This would be for people who want to come in, run a business here, make it successful, and then see if they want to settle here or not. So this seems that a door is going to get opened, and this one had previously been locked and barred for entrepreneurs, and this offers them a way through, and that way they don't have to deal with a more cumbersome and outdated EB-5 program.
Thank you so much for sharing that information, and do want to share with you all the website ahluwalialaw.com. Very useful website that you will find. You will find a lot about USCIS news, and you can find the visa bulletin and many other things, including the recordings of the show in the archive, which might be useful for some of you who have asked the questions. You can revisit your questions, and also for those who probably missed listening to Pallavi Ahluwalia today. So going to our next caller, Fun Asia Radio. You are live on the air. Go ahead and ask your question, please.
Hi, my name is Faiza. Actually, I have a question. We filed our I-140 in October. It's approved on October 2015, and applied for 485 in March 2015. They transferred our case to Nebraska Service Center, and they said they have jurisdiction on our case, what that means. And now they again send it back to Texas Service Center.
Okay. So which category is this? Is this an EB case?
EB3, yeah.
It's EB3, and you are a current priority date currently?
Its priority date is March 3rd, 2015.
Okay, and for which country?
Pakistan.
Okay, all right, so that does seem to be a current date. Here, let me just make sure that it is. All right. All right. And yes, so what happens a lot of times when the government, if you're at one service center or another, there is this internal transfer of files that happens, and they do it mostly because they have an overload at that point, and then they send it out to the next service center, which is freer or has less files, so that they can quickly approve the case. Sometimes that transfer itself causes a delay, unfortunately, and that may be the case. If you're a current priority date and your case has been transferred back to Texas Service Center, that may be good news, because they may be able to do this. Now for EB3 from Pakistan, the dates that they are currently working on are May 1st of 2016, so which is good, because you said your date was 2013, right? So you are a current date.
Okay, thank you.
All right. So
All
just
right.
more a processing delay than anything else.
Okay, thank you so much.
All
All
right.
the best.
Thank you for your call. Going to our next caller, Fun Asia Radio. You're live on the air. Go ahead and ask your question, please.
Hi, my question is, I'm a US citizen and I would like to apply for my mother. She's in Pakistan. So now two questions. Should I apply when she is here because she has a visa, or should I apply when she is in Pakistan? And the next question is, do I need to go through a lawyer for the process, or I can apply myself?
Okay. I always love this when somebody asks a lawyer whether you need them or not, right?
Oops, I think I dropped that call. Let me disconnect so that she can listen to you on the radio, Pallavi. All right, go ahead.
Yeah, I'll answer the second question first, which is whether you need a lawyer or not. The point to understand that is that if you're very, very comfortable with the immigration process and the way all the forms work together, then by all means try it out. If you're uncomfortable with it and you have questions about forms and things, then make sure that you are adequately represented so you don't have undue delays when you start out your process. Now to the first question, which is whether this should be applied for through the consulate or it should be applied for while the mom is here visiting. You cannot have a preconceived intent to come visit and then apply for your green card, and that would violate immigration laws. If she comes in and decides to stay back and then you file for an adjustment, that is just absolutely okay. You should wait for at least 2 to 3 months prior to applying after she enters on a visitor visa. It takes slightly a bit longer to file for an adjustment within the country, and it is a little faster when she's abroad. It takes about less than a year to get it done while the person is abroad. So it just depends on what your timelines are, what your requirements are, and based on that you can make your judgment.
Thank you so much, Pallavi. Let's move on with the next caller. We probably can squeeze in a couple of questions, I hope, here. All right, going to our next caller. Manisha Radio, you're live on the air.
Hello?
Yes, go ahead and ask your question, please.
Yeah, good morning, Pallavi. I have a question.
Good morning.
My brother-in-law had the green card, and then his mother got sick and she had the cancer. So he went back to India and took care of her, so he could not come back, and he surrendered the green card at that time. But they gave him the multiple entry visa. Is there a way he can get the card, or is there a process where he can? And he got the letter from the embassy.
Yes, so if he gave up his green card and he took a visitor visa, he wants to take back the green card again, that process is not allowed.
That is allowed.
Okay, yeah, that is not allowed. He'll have to go through the entire process all over again.
Okay, is there any shortcut to reclaim the visa on the business or anything?
Well, there may be different options, and that you'll have to explore to see what he qualifies for. On business, there may be options like L, E2, different options. I just made an announcement just a few minutes back about a new business immigration rule that is going to be allowing entrepreneurs to come here on parole. Those are not green cards. That's not going to be a green card. It's just going to be a parole entry, and that's still going to get published, and we will still need to have more details before that aspect can be used. However, he can explore different options. Maybe he's got a degree and somebody can apply for an H-1 for him. Slightly tough because it's a lottery based. Yeah.
He's on the visitor visa right now. He's visiting here. So if he's here, it will be easy to apply, or when he goes back?
No. That has no impact. He has to qualify for the category. Even going back and doing it will have the same. You cannot, there are no categories that are open right now where you can, from a visitor, just quickly apply for an adjustment of status and get a green card unless you have a child who is a U.S. citizen 21 or over, or you have a spouse, or an immediate relative is the only one that can.
Well, most likely I will make the appointment and come and see you so we can explore all the options.
Most welcome.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
All right. Thank you so much for your call, and thank you so much for your time, Pallavi. We are all, towards the end of the segment. Is there anything else that you want to add here?
No, I think we are good. Let's watch this entrepreneur parole rule, because this would be very, very useful to a lot of people who are wanting to come in from abroad and start businesses here, but don't know and don't want to bring a huge sum of money. But let's see what the conditions are before we go forward.
Perfect. Thank you so much for being live for our community here and answering all their legal questions. And we'll look forward for the next session.
Of course. Thank you. Thank you,
so
Mitu.
much.
Thanks for hosting me. Bye-bye.
Bye.
This has been your weekly show, Your Business Matters with Attorney Pallavi Ahluwalia of Ahluwalia Law Offices. Call in with your questions at 972-235-5555. That's 972-235-5555. If you didn't get a chance to ask your questions, or if you prefer a personal or private consultation with an attorney regarding immigration and nationalization law, family law, business law, contract law, or civil litigation, she can be contacted at 972-361-0606 or Pallavi at yourdesi.in.